Hi everybody. I hope the audio is good this time. I tested and it seemed to be fine. So if you can all let me know before I move on, I just want to make sure that it's completely okay. If you can just give me a little thumbs up there. Seth is in the house, and good afternoon, everybody. I just want to let you know that right on. Thank you. So I just want to let you know that I just came off of X, formerly known as Twitter. It put me in a really weird space. So I apologize if I didn't come on all yay. But let me just back up here for a minute. I just wanted to make sure that the audio was good first. But first, I want to say this. Thank you, everybody, for joining me for Hump Day. Thank you, everybody, for joining me for therapy. Boy, do I need it today. And thank you so much, honestly, for showing up and doing these lives with me and getting into some stuff that not everybody wants to get into, but I do. I'm the guy who really wants to have these conversations. And, again, I do encourage you not to agree with me. That's 100% okay. I think you all have learned. Okay, we're going to go into that real quick here. Learned from you all. So let's see who's in the house here this morning. I see Australia. I see Kentucky. I see Perth, Australia. I've been there. Excellent place. Beautiful time there. I see East Washington. I see Oregon. I see Germany in the house. I see, who else do I see in the house? Who else is here? Right on, friends. Thank you so much for joining. Northern Indiana's in the house. Okay, Patrick. You said it, friend. I didn't, but I can because my dad's Canadian. I can literally talk shit. Hilarious, my friend. New York's in the house, Michigan, Netherlands. We got everyone today. Oh, does that say Romania? That would be amazing if Romania's in the house. Ontario, Canada. We got a lot of Canadians here today. Right on, Canada. So we got New York, Buffalo, New Zealand. We got everyone here today. So thank you all so much again. I do appreciate you always joining me, and even Germany in the house. So that I just want to go backtrack here a little bit with you on, I was on X, and I don't know if you all know this, but I'm always willing to have the conversation. I get asked to be on a lot of conservative podcasts, right? So with that, Isle of Man is in the house, Lithuania is in the house, Wales is in the house, right on, Atlantic Canada is in the house. Thank you guys so much, Portland. We can have a discussion about that. I do appreciate you all from all over the world joining me. It really does mean a lot to me. But here's East Tennessee is in the house. I haven't been to Tennessee. I need to go. So Norway, I've been there. I've been to pretty much all the places that are here. I've been very lucky to travel. I live in California. That's a whole other story. I've traveled the world. I've been to many, many places in the world, and I have been very, very blessed in that sense that I have been able to travel the world and meet all kinds of people. And I think it's why I sort of have a different attitude than a lot of other people in this community, because I have Florida's in the house, because I do have travel experience and I do have on some level life experience around the world. And as a transsexual man, that has made a huge difference in my transition, because I have interacted in this world, in a real space, not on the internet. Not I've actually at Montreal's in the house. I've interacted literally, physically, eyes touching, meeting people all over the world. And I do think that has given me a different sense of being than people who are always on the internet, who are always just in their bubble of friends and people, are always hearing yes, yes, yes to everything they say. That's really dangerous. And I want to let you all know that it is really important that you don't just have yes friends. Okay. It's very important that you don't just have people around you who are agreeing with everything you say. I always say this, my partner, my wife, and I, we are constantly arguing about stuff, but in a good, healthy way, not in a mean way, in a way that says, well, I disagree. We disagree on a lot of things. And it's very important that we do that. Oh, thank you, friend. That means a lot. Thank you, the outlaw. Wow. Cool. I love that. Traveling helps make people a lot smarter. I do believe that us outlaw feminists have to stick together. Thank you, friend. Thank you, friend. That means a lot. I do appreciate you very much. Thank you. So you're right. We need to stick together. And traveling has changed everything for me. Like I said, I've been very blessed to speak. I'm not kidding, all over the world. I mean, wow, it's been incredible for me. In Malaysia, I spoke in Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, and then, Canada, Norway, Sweden, Finland. Gosh, I can't, I think the only places I haven't spoken I have been to Israel and spoke there, but I haven't really been to like Russia or any space like that. I kind of was not so comfortable, and for many reasons. But let me tell you what happened today on X. Malaysia was incredible for me. I wish I could just tell you, have a stories, give you stories of my travels because they were incredible. So what I want to say is this: I was on X, just posting some stuff, and there's a woman. I don't know if you all know that I did an interview with. She asked me to come on her site. She's a hardcore, what you all call gender critical woman, and she might even be here or one of her people here watching. So yeah, I'm going to talk about you right now. So she asked me, and I know she's super against trans. She hates everybody. She's extremely mean. She just thinks there's no such thing as a trans person. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm a transsexual man, so I'll come on your space. And I'm in the adult entertainment, which she also completely hates and despises. And so I'm willing to have the conversation. So I go on her show where she's just nailing me. If you don't know who it is, her podcast on here is called Slightly Twisted Female. That should give you some understanding. And so I went on, right? I don't know her actual real name, but Slightly Twisted Female. Is it not this is my friend. I'm gonna bring her up. Kyla, is it not? What's her actual feed? Because I want you to go see. I did an actual interview with her. I was willing to step up to the plate and have this sort of conversation with her. And I thought she was going to have that same respect for me, but she did not. She went after me, which I can sit in the hot seat. I don't know if you all know that about me. I can actually sit in the hot seat. I do not have an issue with that because I know myself and I know I'm very grounded in what I believe. I'm very grounded in my knowledge of where I'm at and who I'm at. So I am in no way, shape, or form, right? I'm in no way, shape, or form scared to have a conversation with somebody who hates me. I'm just not. So I accepted her invitation and I went on her podcast here on YouTube. And she just was going at me. You're a woman. I know I'm a woman. Like, come on, man. How many times do I have to say it to you all out there? I know I'm a female. I'm not denying it. I've never denied it. What's the next question? Can we move forward now? So it started out like that, right? It started out like and then it went to my pornography, and then it went to you're just making children do this. Then it was never, well, Buck, I don't agree with you. Yeah, she's a bully. So, and that says a lot about her. She's not grounded. She's very insecure. She's extremely insecure about herself. She's extremely disconnected. She doesn't really want to create a better space. She wants to create the toxic stuff that she keeps so that's why she's full of shit. She doesn't want to make a better place. She wants to keep this energy, this angry energy going. You're never going to change things with angry energy. You're not. So I realized she's not willing to actually make change. But I did the interview and it was fine. At the end of the interview, she goes, "Are you willing to apologize for your porn?" What? What? Are you willing to apologize because you're an a-hole? Like, I'm not going to apologize for my work. I actually like my work and I actually believe in my work. You don't have to watch any of my movies ever. And no, my movies are for adults, people. Just stop trying to blame me because other people are so insecure about themselves and her husband or boyfriend is probably in the other room watching porn instead of having sex with her. So she's all pissed at the porn industry instead of trying to like figure out why her boyfriend doesn't want to have sex with her and instead wants to wank off to porn. So that's right, slightly twisted female. Why don't you kind of think, why don't you take responsibility for yourself? So anyway, there she is on Twitter actually talking shit about AIDS. Are you about AIDS? And she called a gay man some insane, like AIDS infested. Like, she was so mean, you guys. I will not tolerate that. I grew up on some level in the AIDS epidemic. I lost all of my friends. Okay. It will make me cry. You know that. Whenever I speak about AIDS, it hits me in my heart. It hits me in every being of myself. And when I see a straight woman who is expecting respect from everyone else, but she turns around and used AIDS as a means and a way to poke at a gay man who possibly even has AIDS or HIV, I lost it. There is no way I will tolerate that from anybody, just so you know, from anybody. If you are going to be that person, you should leave now. You should leave now. I had to deal with that. I was in the center of the AIDS epidemic, lost all my friends. I could go on and on and on and tell you the tragedy that it was for us, the insanity that it was for us. It lives in my body. I have trauma from it because I lost the the insensitivity of people who want what they want, but are not willing on any way, shape, or form to know that other people exist in this world, not just them. And for a woman who says she wants people to get back to some sense of reality, spews the most insane hate at the LGBT community. She does not want she does not want any of us to get along with each other. She's nasty. She's mean. She's intolerant. She's part of the problem. And I stepped up and went on that woman's podcast. Now, I'm not asking you for accolades. I'm not asking you to pat me on the back. I'm showing you my integrity. Okay. My integrity is that I'm willing to have conversations with you all. But what I'm not willing to do is listen to you be hateful and mean and disgusting because you think you get to speak that way. You don't get to speak that way ever, ever. And I will call all of you out on that. You don't get to talk about AIDS epidemic like that ever, ever. You weren't there. And if you were there and you continue to speak like that, you're sick. You're actually sick. Thank you, the outlaw feminist. I appreciate you. We won't forget. I remember too, Americans came together and stopped that madness with understanding and science. I will never forget. You got when I tell you that I lost my friends, you have to understand how devastating that is for a young person of myself at 29 or in my late 20s, just getting into my 30s. And this thing comes and wipes all your friends out. You wouldn't even be able to believe it. You wouldn't be able to believe it. It's something I hope nobody ever. Thank you, Charlotte. I'm so sorry about sending much love. I hate when people, they're just cruel. She's just cruel. She's just cruel. She doesn't need to, what's her name? Slightly twisted. She doesn't need to be that way. I don't know why she is. I really don't know why she needed to do that and say mean things about AIDS. It's disgusting. And so when you do stuff like that, now you're perpetuating hate again against gay people, okay? And especially against gay men. We worked very hard to get rid of that stigma. Okay, AIDS is not only for gay people, just so you know. I don't know if I ever told you all this. My daughter has AIDS. She's HIV positive now, but she's paused, but she was diagnosed with AIDS 30 something years ago. I have an adopted daughter. I don't know if I've ever showed you her. This is my adopted daughter, Rebecca. I'm going to bring her onto the podcast. Rebecca's story is incredible. Rebecca is a Playboy playmate who contracted AIDS, and Playboy dumped her because of it. That was the stigma around AIDS back in the day. They dumped Rebecca, who was an actual Playboy playmate. She was, I think, November 1980 or something. And they dumped her because of AIDS. That's how insane the whole thing was. I have a lot of history in the AIDS movement. And people are actually saying these things still today. That's why the slightly twisted female needs to be taken out. Taken out. I'm not kidding. That woman is sick and toxic. So then after that, after I told her, wow, really? You're actually going after gay men. Shame on you. So of course, then she went after me. And then now she went on what's that site, you guys? Rumble. Then she went on Rumble and she just started, I guess, because somebody sent me I have friends in every part. So somebody sent me a text saying, oh, now she's on Rumble, like dragging you about your drug addiction. What? So this lady who I gave my time with to try to build a bridge is on And then I told her, "Don't you talk about AIDS like that? Are you crazy?" And so then she attacked me, calling everyone a drug addicted bathhouse prostitute, some other nonsense. And then she goes on Rumble and just starts dragging me about my drug addiction. By the way, just so you all know, I'm 30 years sober. Now I've been 31 or so from my drug addiction, just so you know. So how are you dragging me from my drug addiction? It's disgusting and pathetic. Thank you, Holly. Thank you, friend. It's disgusting and pathetic. It really is. Thanks for becoming a member. Thank you for a month. That's awesome. I'm going to be doing a members only webcam. Web. I said that's how old school I am. Back in the day, we did webcams. Anyway, let's move on. I don't want this to be all fucking heavy and shit because it's just gross. And I thought, oh, thank you, friend. Right on. Thank you. Right on. Thank you so much, Chris. You know, it's just nasty. We don't need to be nasty to each other. Just so you know, like I told you, I really want to build a community here. I really want to build a space where you and I can have these, conversations. We can have different opinions. I value that. I really do value when you say, well, Buck, I don't believe everything. I'm not in alignment with everything. That is okay. That is literally okay. We can't live in bubbles. I can't live in a space where you all are like, "Woo, Buck!" That would be weird and gross, and I don't need that. I also need to always be, I need to be challenged. It is important that I'm challenged. It is how you learn. It's how you grow. But if you're only ever hearing accolades and you're only ever hearing how great you are, and you're only ever hearing, this, but you're never saying, "Well, hey, Buck, I have a different opinion about this." That's what makes me go do research. How do you think I changed my mind on kids? How do you think I changed my mind on kids transitioning? Because I did. I changed my mind on kids transitioning. Hey, Angela, thank you so much. People like that make me sick. Ugh, they have the biggest skeletons in their own closet, hence why they have to, that's right, bash people. I know that, friend, but thank you for saying that to me. I completely know that. That woman is actually very sad, and part of me is, it does feel sad for her. But at this point, I'm pissed. I just don't need people like that trying to drag me. And I have 30 years of sobriety, slightly twisted female. I know you got some of your friends in this room. I'm pretty sure because that's how you operate. So you go back and tell her, I have 30 years of sobriety. So why are you dragging me for drug addiction? Drag my adult work. You go right ahead, lady, because you know what? I have an awesome, very lucrative business. What do you have? I have my own home. I mean, I could go on and on. Do you? Do you? Are you all slinging it on the internet trying to? Anyway, I could be extremely mean. I could be very mean, but I'm just not going to go there. So just I have to pull myself back a little bit because I can throw down too. I can drag too. Trust me. But I just kind of feel like why? I just wanted to tell you that why I came on a little bit like because I'm just so Zeus says, "Hey Buck, did you hear about what DeSantis did to the transgender Floridas today?" No, I did not. So why don't you somebody put that up here and I'll bring it up. I have no idea. I don't really pay attention as much to that as the other stuff I'm trying to do right now. It's so insane. Everything is insane. I think the whole world is insane. I actually think people have just completely lost it. Just nobody wants to have conversation. You're either over here, you're over here. But I do think more of us are becoming, I feel like we're all middle ground. That's how I feel about all of us here who come every week and hang out with each other. I feel like we have a space here that we don't necessarily all agree with that or with that. And we're in this space where, it is such a clown world, people. It is just unbelievable. So hence, hence elephant in the room. What do y'all think that means? That's right. That's right, Norma. Don't live in a bubble. Please. I hope all of you do not live in a bubble. I don't either. It is actually very, very dangerous to just be around people who are always sort of like you. This is what is going on with the trans community. Now, I'm going to bring this one. I'm going to bring this one here up so we can discuss this because these are the kinds of things that are being said in the transgender community that are actually indoctrinating children. Okay. So we have wingnuts in this trans community. Serious, scary elephant in the room. Scary ass wingnuts who aren't trans. They're cross dressers, they're transvestites, they're young people who are lost and need something. The kids who have autism, comorbidities are being shoved into a trance. These kids are not trans, nor are these older men. And mostly, I'm going to talk about, pardon me, men, because they're the ones who are, I'm trans and I'm a woman. It's all these older men. They're all transvestites. They're not trans people. They're not. Because all of a sudden they had an epiphany at 50 that they were a trans woman. Let me tell you something about real transsexual people. They don't have an epiphany. They actually know it. You just know something's different about you. You just know the epiphany you might have is, oh, I can actually can change my appearance. That's the epiphany. You don't go, oh, I'm trans. That's just not happening. Plus, real trans people don't identify as trans. They want to be male or female. That's what they want to be. So this new trans thing is that's how I know it's all indoctrination. So let me bring this one up, okay? And I want you all to listen to what this young person who's very influential, and I've already dragged this person because they are very dangerous, and they did a bunch of anti-Buck videos because she doesn't like what I say. So, and yeah, I am going to call her she, and I don't care if you think I'm misgendering her. When you see her, you're going to see. She says she's a trans mask and a trans man. This is what pisses me off. I work hard, everybody. You all know that. I work hard on this masculinity so that I can present to the world so that you don't get confused and I don't get confused. And I walk into the room and everyone says, hey, sir, yes, sir, no, sir. That is gold for me. Okay. Nobody ever says yes, ma'am to me unless they're being a dick. But other than that, so you're going to see this person says they're the same as me. Okay. So let's get into this right here. And this is one of the elephants in the room that I'm talking about. Okay. So let's listen to this.
That you don't 100% identify.
Hold on.
The only requirement to be trans is that you don't 100% identify with the gender that you were assigned at birth. That's it. That's it.
Not
no
true.
Requirements of how you dress, how you look, if you transition. And every non-binary identity is a valid trans identity. And agender is not the only non-binary identity. Actually, it's one out of many non-binary identities. And there are a lot of non-binary people who still partially identify with the gender that you're assigned at birth, but not fully. That is still trans. That is still valid. You can transition if you want to at any degree, and you don't have to if you don't want to. So please, I hope that you go and explore your own expression, your own identity, your own feelings, and all of the joy and glory that is transness. There are...
Okay, so all of your glory. So first off, do you see her? Does this person look any way like me? Come on. Does this person look like they're even trying to be masculine? Does this person look, they're wearing that stuff on their cheeks. They have a ponytail. They have eyeliner. They are wearing a very feminine costume. There's nothing masculine. If this person walks into a room, I want to know this. If this person walked into a room, what pronouns would you all use? What pronouns would you use if this person walked into a room? We all know. So that person is trying to tell everyone that anyone, that's the danger. That's the danger. This person is telling the young generation, because those are her people, that anyone can be trans. There's no requirements. Yeah, there is. There's a number one requirement to actually be a transsexual. It's called gender identity disorder, lady. And by you spreading misinformation like that, dangerous, this is why all the kids, she's like the Pied Piper. Woo, woo, woo. Come on, kids. Anyone can join. Join the party. Be trans. Cut your tits off and be a man. And then what happens when you change your mind? Oh, don't worry. You can put fake ones on. That's literally what's happening. That's literally what's happening. By a young woman who has co-opted my space, transsexualism and telling everybody that I'm the toxic masculinity. She literally went off on me that I'm toxic, that I might have toxic masculinity. Do you guys actually think I'm toxic? If I am, I need to work on it. But I do not believe that I have toxic masculinity. I do not believe that. And I'm very forward in my speaking. I'm very upfront. Is that toxic? It can't be. There's no way that that's toxic. To actually think and speak what you need to say. And the fact that she would call me toxic says a lot about her. Okay. And so I just find her to be a danger. And she's one of the elephants in the room, right? She's one of the elephants in the room. She's one of the ones that people don't want. Oh, they're too scared to say anything. Nope. Nope. You're a she. You'll always be a she. Maybe you're trans, but you'll always be, I will always be a she. That's just how it works, people. If you're nice enough, you're going to call me he, and you're going to respect my desire to live as a man. You're going to respect my desire to be called he. Most everyone does that because I acknowledge that I am a she. I am. I know I'm an ugly she, but I'm a she. So what? How is that even in any way, shape, or form transphobic? She's the transphobic one because she's lying to you about what real anyone can be trans. That's not true. You do need gender identity disorder to be trans, okay? You do need to actually acknowledge your biology. Non-binary is not trans. She keeps saying the same rhetoric. Non-binary people are valid and they're trans. Oh, really? Just because you say so? Is that how it works now? Just because somebody says something, how does that make it true? How does that make it true? This is I have 31 years, people. 31 years of lived actual transition experience. I'm not pulling your chain here. I have more lived experience than that person has even been on this earth. Yet for some reason, that person gets to you're smart, you know everything. Buck's transphobic, but you're trans. Hey, Chris. Hey, my friend. Thank you. Hey, Buck. I had to see a psychiatrist to get diagnosed with. That's why you're probably solid, buddy, in your space, because you should be seeing a psychiatrist, a psychologist, somebody who is actually versed in understanding what gender dysphoria is. That does not make it bad. That does not make it good. It makes it that you understand why you need to transition. That's why mental health care is actually the plug-in. Let me tell you all something. If any of you here in this room today feel that you are trans or that maybe you have gender dysphoria, get to a psychologist, not an affirmation therapist. Get to somebody who's actually has long-term, and if you need any help, I have a list of amazing therapists and psychiatrists who can plug you in to what's going on with you, because maybe you don't have gender dysphoria. Maybe you have PTSD, or maybe you have anxiety about something, or maybe you're just struggling with something that happened to you a million years ago and you need to deal with it so that you can grow out of it. That's what you should be doing. Transitioning should be the last resort. You're literally the opposite of toxic. You're honest and compassionate. Neither of these things need to be. Oh, thank you, sweet. That's sweet. Thank you. I know. I'm shocked when anyone would call me toxic. I do not. And if I was toxic, I need to work on it. I'm willing to work on being toxic. I don't want to be one of those toxic, creepy, weird dudes. Oh, thank you, Nevish. Thank you so much, friend. So, I'm willing to also work on my stuff that's not perfect. I'm not perfect. And none of us are. Thank you, friend. Thank you, Shane. That's very sweet. Thank you. So that being said, that's why I need you all to know this. These people use these words. They use these words to gaslight us all. They use these words calling Buck Angel is toxic masculinity. Buck Angel is transphobic. Buck Angel is a bigot, is a Nazi, and I live in a Jewish place. Can you imagine calling me a Nazi? It's so gross. So the elephant in the room. First off, number one elephant, her. She's not trans. She's not trans mass. She's not she could be non-binary. Go right ahead, lady. I don't really care. Be whatever you need to be. But stop trying to represent what trans is, and stop telling people that anyone can be trans, because they can't. You're leading children down a very dangerous path when you say anyone can be trans, right? Hey, thank you, VJ. Thank you so much, friend. Therapists aren't any better. Well, I'm going to say something. I have ideation and urges that go dormant until triggered. Right. That's to do with disassociation. The last therapist ignored my disassociation just to focus on my, well, that's a crappy therapist. You're right. Not all these therapists. That's why I told you I have a list of actual real therapists. I don't know what therapist you went to, if they're an affirmation therapist, but it kind of feels like it because they kept going to your gender identity. And this is what I'm actually trying to get the point across to all you here. We need to work on the things that are going on with you before we can get to your gender identity, right? We need to work with why do you feel like a man or a woman? What's going on with you? Did something happen to you when you were a kid that now you think it's better to be a boy than there's so many layers that we must address before we just all of a sudden say, oh, you're trans. This is the problem that I really do feel our community has been very instrumental in creating a very dangerous space for people to just transition. Nobody should just transition. Nobody. You should be going through a very slow process of trying to figure out, why do I need to live like a man? It's the best thing that ever happened to me to live this way, right? It's not something that I wish upon anybody, but if it's something, a lot of my trans man friends are just like me. Me and Seth are just like the same. That's why I bring Seth on, because I want you to see there's thousands of guys like me out there. And we just want to live our lives and move forward. And I guarantee you, I could bring all of these guys on here and you would see a huge difference between us and them. All the guys are like me. We just want to move forward and we want to live like dudes. And we make an effort to be very masculine and we want you to call us he. And we never freak out if you misgender us, and we just move through the world, because you'll never misgender us ever. You won't, unless it's actually on purpose. Hey, Sage, thank you, friend. My therapist won't write a letter for hormones unless you've lived the opposite gender for at least a year. Brilliant. Great therapist. Those are the ones we need. Those are the ones we need. But those therapists are getting in trouble because you're supposed to affirm now, right? You're supposed to affirm the child when they say I'm trans, which is so insane. Imagine, mommy, mommy, I'm 4. Mommy, I'm 4 and I want to be a boy. Okay, cool. Whatever, kiddo. You go right ahead and think you want to be a boy. Like, that's pretty much basically what my parents did. They're like, okay, whatever you want, but you're not. You can wear the clothes you want. You can do whatever you want. My parents are like, whatever you need to do. So gender dysphoria needs to be a diagnosis. Yep. That's right. You need to have a diagnosis. That wingnut, that girl I just brought up, she says you don't need a diagnosis. She said you don't even need gender dysphoria to be trans. So I want to ask you all this. Maybe you're not trans, maybe you are. Even if you're not, you can still answer this, okay? I want to ask this question. Hey, thanks, Nevish. Thank you so much. Buck, I think that you are one of the very few voices of reason. Well, please don't say that. I mean, there's a lot of pressure. But no, I don't think so. I think more of us are coming up, but I do appreciate that a lot. And I think by being here with all of you, we are actually encouraging, right? We together, it's not just me. When you show up to these lives and I get all of these great comments and I get all of these great likes that you like this, it pushes the feed for YouTube to push it out. And then more people start to see it and they see us, okay? They see me and you having actual conversation where nobody else would be doing this because it's transphobic or whatever the hell they want to call it, right? That's I cannot do this without you. I will keep telling you that. This channel will not grow without you. We will not hit the right people. So again, I keep telling you, this is a community space for us to start to push back on the insanity, because we cannot let it slide back. Okay. It is literally at that tipping point. It is going to slide back. And I don't know if we could ever come back from it if we let it get to a space where they are saying that, biology is not real. And that's scary. That is actually scary that people believe that. People literally believe that. So here we are trying to build back into a space of reality. So I so much appreciate you all here. And this channel grows because of you. So I want to ask you all this question. Do any of you think that you can be a trans person without gender identity disorder or gender dysphoria? Does anyone in this room believe that you do not need a diagnosis of gender identity disorder or gender dysphoria to be trans? If I want a thumbs up or a thumbs down, I want to see. Okay, no. I want to see if there's anyone in this room that believes that. Yeah, I think we're all on the same path here. Yeah, it's the reason you're trans is what I try to tell people. Why would anybody be trans without gender dysphoria? Oh, you think yes? Tree box. Here. Wait, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Yes, I guess. Okay. Can you elaborate that you don't need gender dysphoria to be trans? Could you elaborate? I really like to see if anyone it needs to be named something else. Right, that's right. No, you can live how, but it's not trans. It's not GD. Right. So it's called AGP. That's a whole other conversation. But specifically transgender, okay? Oh, Treebox is a kid. Okay, yeah. Okay, I gotcha. Okay, okay. So yeah, Treebox is okay. So yeah, wait, was no, but no, but having it and being undiagnosed can be a thing. Well, sure, that's true. But I love you too, Ashley. Thank you. So no, so everyone pretty much agrees here, okay? Everyone pretty much agrees here. Why would you be trans without gender dysphoria, right? Why would you even want to be trans? Why would a young person want to be trans? That's what I'm trying to really wrap my head around. It's weird to me that somebody would want to be trans. So what I came up with is this. The only reason why a young person, we're going to get over to the older people, to a young person want to be trans is because they can. Is because they can, and then they can join in. When it's now trans is joy, trans euphoria, I can play with myself looking different ways because that's euphoric. You see what it's become? It's become an identity. It is no longer in the space of medical dysphoria, which is what I have and what Seth has, right? So I want you to see this. If you're not understanding what's happening, I'm going to show you why these kids, you might already know this. Hey, Shayna, thank you so much, friend. My oldest came out to me as bi and trans at 13 and now 15. Oh, God, how do they come out as bi? I'm terrified for them. And they're talked with Glee C about their surgeries. Oh, well, Shayna, if you need any, send us an email and I can give you a lot of good resources. You got to get your kid into some resources. You know, the problem is this. Shane, like children like Shayna's, they're around other trans kids. It's the cool, hot thing to be at school now, depending on where you're going to school, right? It's the kind of cool thing. So of course, kids always want to belong. It's an actual thing. This is how maniacal and scary the trans space is. They created this. They literally created to indoctrinate all these kids. Because guess what? The more trans people there are, the more the old AGP cross-dressers can justify giving puberty blockers to children because they still look like dudes in a dress. And they're saying, well, if I would have transitioned as a kid, I wouldn't look this way and I wouldn't have to do $100,000 worth of surgery. You see what I'm trying to say here? So the older people are the ones pushing the younger people into the space and creating this language that says anyone can be trans. You don't need dysphoria. It's an actual plan. They're using the children. These old AGP cross-dressing transvestites are using the children for their own gain. So that they can say the next generation of, because here's the deal, friends, right? I didn't take puberty blockers. I didn't transition until 30. Do I look like a woman to you in any way, shape, or form? Do I look like a woman? No, I know I don't. But that being said, what if I took puberty blockers at 10? How would I be today? Would I look this way today? Would I be the healthy 61-year-old? I'm healthy I'm like an ox. I'm not even kidding you guys. I'm like an ox. I very rarely get sick. I'm super strong. I work out every day. I'm 61 years old. I'll be 62 this year. I'm forward thinking. You know what I mean? At 61, what if I would have taken puberty blockers? What would my health be? We don't know. So why would we do that to a young person right now? We still don't know. We have no, well, we do. We actually do know what those puberty blockers are going to do to these kids. But, but I'm just saying in the sort of conversation of things, we don't know. But I prove to you here, I sit today at 61, transitioned 30 years ago. You can do this without puberty blockers. So what my point is trying to be is that I really believe that they're doing, the trans women are pushing the puberty blockers. But who is the number one demographic? Who is the number one demographic of young people that are taking puberty blockers? Do you know who that demographic is? Yeah, it would scare you if I went in the women's room. Girls, 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 not boys, girls, girls. It's girls, gay kids. But I'm demographic, meaning gender, sex. What is the demographic, sex wise, gender wise, who are being given puberty blockers? It's girls. It's not boys. It's girls. But who's pushing the puberty blockers? Hey, Dana, thanks for becoming a member. Thanks for becoming a member. White girls. And that's that. Wait, hold on. Thanks for becoming a member. wait, wait. You're so right. Wait a this. I just autistic, 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 and white girls. And white girls. It's hardly any girls of color. Hardly any. Do you all know that? So it's white, 100% white, not 100%, but you know what I mean? White mostly, young girls, autistic kids, okay? But the demographic of kids is girls. Most of them are autistic. Yet who's pushing the puberty blockers? Trans women, men. That's what you need. Get that picture in your head. Get that picture in your head. They're using young girls for their own experiment. They sure the fuck are. They don't care. They don't care. They only care about themselves. They only care about their weird fetish of I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say weird fetish. I apologize for that. Fetishes can be that's a thing. What's weird is when you start to co-opt another space to bring that in. Cross-dressing, and thanks so much, friend. Thanks so much, Pood. I get your name. Thank you for teaching about the dangers of the meds. No, thank you for being here, really. So I want you to know this. Like, I don't care if you have a fetish. I really don't care. Go do it. You're an adult. Have your fetish, but stop pushing it into other people's faces. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see you dressing like a little kid and you're 60. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see you being a little girl and sucking on a lollipop and you're a 60-year-old man who says you're a trans girl. Like, no. Nobody needs to see that. That's non-consensual. That should stay in your own space. That's why people think we're all crazy. Hey, Danny, as an AGP with dysphoria, I did just fine without puberty blockers. I'm transitioning as a young adult. There's nothing to be gained pushing it on kids. I appreciate you, Danny, very much. Thanks for saying that. So there we go. We got a real one. Okay. So there you go. I know a lot. So on the flip side of that, Danny, I have interviewed young people who have taken puberty blockers, and it's completely, oh, the panic button is here. Hey, I love you guys so much. I listen to you always on my walks with my dog, just so you know. You two are great. If you guys don't follow the panic button, please do. Give them a huge amount of support. They're les women, and they're like really awesome. They're funny and great and beautiful. And you know what? We have to support each other, okay? So I really do believe in supporting each other's channels and raising voices. So if you don't follow the panic button, I highly suggest you do that, because they're really beautiful people and they're awesome and they're funny and they hit stuff right on the nose. And I love my les friends, so a lot of my women friends are leses, so it's all good. But yeah, the panic button is great. It's really, really, really great. So I want to get to some of these other before it gets too late here. So let me see here. Oh my God. I don't even know which one to pick next, you guys. It's just mind-blowing. It's actually mind-blowing that this is happening. I'm pissed. So I'm gonna bring damn, which one should I bring up? Because they're so good. Thank you guys. Thank you, girls. Thank you, girls, so much. I really do love you a lot. You're just so great. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this one up. You guys all have you all heard about the 50-year-old man the 50-year-old man who's trans woman in Canada. Okay, I'm sorry, Canada. I'm gonna get you right now, Canada. I'm gonna nail you right now. Thanks, Nevin. I cringe to think what would be pushed on me if I was a kid today because I was yes, that's right. It would be. It would have been pushed on me too. I was a tomboy. I was a total tomboy. I had a great childhood, by the way. You all know that. I had a great childhood. Nope. I would be pissed if my parents gave me puberty blockers. So there's a 50-year-old dude in Canada who's a trans woman now. I guess he identifies as a 13-year-old trans girl. Oh, unbelievable. And now he's swimming. You all must know the story. Now he's swimming with 13 to 17-year-old girls, and they have to let him do it because he identifies as a woman, or no, wait, he identifies as a girl. And wait till you see this. Oh my God. Okay,
here and he entered the community center.
Hold on.
PETA, I think he was tipped off that we were here and he entered the community center through a back entrance. Perhaps we can catch him going out. In the meantime, we're going to watch him swim. Just will you see the perverse visuals of a 50-year-old man lining up against 13 and 17-year-old girls.
This is sick, you guys. This is actually sick. What is happening? Wait, didn't I get the rest of that?
I think he was tipped off that we were.
Oh shoot! I thought that's another one I have is a screen let me see if I can share the screen. If not, you understand what I'm trying to say here. I wanted to see the rest. But that being said, so this dude is not trans. Like what? He's a perverted weirdo who's using trans to get into a space to swim with girls, and they're letting it happen in Canada. Canada, wake up. You've lost your mind. You've lost your mind. I don't care what you identify as, dude. You go right ahead and identify as a woman. You cannot identify as a 13-year-old girl. That is not trans. That is like pedo stuff and AGP stuff, and literally it has nothing to do with gender dysphoria. Do you all remember the dude in Canada who had the double D breasts? Remember that guy? He was a shop teacher. Yeah, where are the fucking parents? Because if it was me and my kid was swimming in that, I'm not even going to say it, but you know what I would do. You don't want me showing up to the swim meet. You don't want me showing up. So anyway, remember the big boob Canadian lady? Remember? Was that his name, William? Or anyway, oh my God, you guys. And then he was a shop teacher, and he decided that he wanted to transition, and he was teaching the shop 17-year-old boys with double D breasts, doing the saw. It was absurd. It was absurd. And everyone was going along with it. Everyone was going along with it. So I guess later on it came out he was yanking everyone's chain. It was full of shit. He wasn't really a trans person. He was trying to make a point. It's brilliant. I knew it. I knew that he wasn't real and he was making a point. So I believe this is happening with this swimmer. 50 years old. Elephant in the room. Elephant in the room. Why is nobody saying anything? That's the point I'm trying to make here. Everyone just has their head in the sand. There is nobody pushing back on these weirdos who are actually hanging out with kids because they're trans. We're literally opening the door for these you-know-whats to hang out with kids. And then they're flinging their genitals around in the locker room around 13-year-old kids. What? And under the guise of trans. You see what they did? The AGPs, the crossdressers, the transvestites, the P word, I'll say MAPS. They're doing that. They're literally using my disorder to wiggle around this so that they can hang out with little kids in the locker room. Gross. Elephant in the room, people. Elephant in the room. I just can't take it anymore. I can't. I as a dad, right? as an uncle, as a sort of coach to a bunch of kids. I coach these kids. I hang out with all these kids. I don't see any of them trans. None of the kids. I'm around so many 11-year-old boys. It's crazy. None of them are trans. They laugh at it. They make fun of it. I hear them. I hear them making fun of non-binary. I hear them all the time. Thank God. But the sad part is that they're making fun of trans people now because they see crazy people doing this stuff. It's just not okay. So the next thing you know, like now a 50-year-old man, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you so much, Julian. It means a lot to me. Thank you. So I'm going to hit this next one. I just think it's crazy that we're not pushing back on this. I don't understand. I really don't understand. How are we letting a 50-year-old man swim with 13-year-olds and pretending he's a woman? Come on, man. We all need to write the Canadian swim, whatever that is, and tell them, get it together. Get it together, man. Every single kid in that swimming pool should walk out. That's how you make shit happen, right? Like women in sports. When a trans woman, biological male, shows up, walk off. Walk off the court, walk off the track, walk out of the swimming pool. Every woman athlete should do that. That's the way you fight back. You literally walk off, and then no one's going to compete with the trans woman. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. That's how you do it. Same with that swimming pool. Every parent should yank their child out of that swimming pool. Like, what? This is insane. That's how we fight back, people. We don't participate. Do not participate in other people's delusions, other people's desire to throw their fetish in your face. I come from a space of understanding fetish. It's a private world. You do not put that in the world. You don't go to the grocery store and adult baby diapers. Now you can, and no one's going to say anything because they're too scared to say it. It's unbelievable. This one really pisses me off. So watch this. You're not officially detransitioned. What? You're not going to believe this. You're actually not going to believe it. Okay, here we go.
After 5 years of living as a girl, I am officially detransitioning. I originally started transitioning for the same reason I went vegan, as sort of an experiment that lasted years longer than I anticipated. I really just wanted to dig into the heads of trans people, and I learned a lot about them and myself in the process, and I don't regret any of my decisions. But I've gotten everything out of it that I think I'd like to, and I'm ready to be a boy again. I'm not sure if this makes me a cis boy. I think you could call me a trans boy since I've lived as a girl for so long, but labels or whatever. Who knows, maybe after 5 years of being a boy again, I'll go back. But man, what a journey it was, and what a journey it's about to be. I've been a girl almost my entire adult life, and I'm excited to explore adult life as a boy. Thank you everyone who's been with me through this journey.
Can you believe that they're saying this?
Yeah, my pronouns are he, him now, and I'm just excited.
Okay. How disgusting. I'm exposing all of them. I told you they're fake. I told you they are fake. That person, should we go over it again, little by little? Watch.
5 years of living as a girl, I am officially detransitioning.
After 5 years of living as a girl, I'm finally detransitioning. Okay, listen to the next part.
I originally started transitioning for the same reason I went vegan, as sort of an experiment that...
I'm transitioning for the same reason I went vegan. I'm experimenting. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. And why I'm fucking pissed. Okay, watch.
That lasted years longer than I anticipated.
And it lasted years longer than I anticipated.
I really just wanted to dig into the heads of trans people, and I learned a lot about them and myself in the process, and
I just wanted to dig into the heads of trans... This person doesn't even have gender dysphoria. How did they transition? How did they transition? I want to know. Self-ID, people. So this wingnut just used my disorder to do an experiment because they're a vegan, whatever that means. And then they wanted to try to be a woman to see how that felt, but they're not really trans.
I don't regret any of my decisions.
And I don't regret any of my decisions. Well, hold up here, little man. I'm glad you don't regret your decision. But what about me? And what about all the transsexual people out there who are suffering with gender dysphoria, who need the surgeries that you just took away from us? You took hormones away from us. You took surgeries away from us. You even took our space away from us to play a game called experimenting. You need to apologize to the whole transsexual community for your ignorance.
I've gotten everything out of it that I think I'd like to, and
I've gotten everything out of it that I needed. And now I'm going to regress back to being a man again. And F off, all you trans people. I don't care that I used your space. I don't care that I used all that shit. I'm going to show you right now, everybody. This is not the first, nor will it be the last of these trans women dudes who are just using this space right now to get some kind of accolade on TikTok, Instagram, all of it. You watch. This is going to be the new thing.
And I'm ready to be a boy again. I'm not sure if
I'm ready to be a boy again. Let me tell you how pissed off that makes me. I am not ever ready to be a girl again, ever, because I have what's called gender identity disorder. It's the reason I transitioned. I did not transition as an experiment. I did not transition to play a game. I did not transition to see what it felt like to be a man. None of the above. Yet this person literally used everything that is my reason I'm actually alive today and why I function and why I'm a happy adult. This person played a game with my medical condition. Do you think I should be pissed? Yeah, you're right. I'm very happy, Cecilia, thank you, by the way, that he is honest, but it's actually disgusting. Disgusting.
this makes me a cis boy, I think you could call me a trans.
Look, it's all the names. You see what I mean? Now he's going back. Am I a cis boy? The labels. Now the labels are going to come back.
Boy, since I've lived as a girl for so long, but labels or whatever. Who knows, maybe after 5 years of being a boy again, I'll go back. But man, what a journey it was. And
oh no, you'll never go back. You'll never, ever go back. Stop lying. It was an experiment. This stuff has to go to somebody who's in charge. Who's in charge? Who is in charge of transitioning? Who is in charge of making sure that these people don't slip through this person slipped through. Should have never been given medicine, should have never been given surgery, should have never been told any of it because they lied. I guarantee you this person lied to get everything they have. How easy it is for anybody to do that. You all should be pissed. Seriously, you should be very pissed about this. Here's the last. I find it to be insensitive. I find it to be intolerant. I find it to be, on some level, making fun of what I have. I find it, we can't let this happen. The fact that this person can actually go on the internet and say this, and nobody's saying anything about it. The elephant in the room. That's what the elephant in the room is, people. One last one here.
I'm already a woman.
Okay, you're not even going to believe this person. You're just not. You're not going to believe it. Here we go.
Why do I need the surgery if I'm already a woman? Well, that's because I was born with a condition that caused me to develop male sex characteristics. And I want to correct as much of that as possible. However,
God.
I need to add a great big caveat to this. Genitalia does not define gender. I am a woman because I say that I am a woman. What is or is not between my legs is absolutely irrelevant.
Oh my God, you guys. So, did you all hear what this person literally said? So, they said, if I say I'm a woman, I'm a woman, okay? I was born, wait, hold on one second. I just got to put
Why do I need the surgery if I'm already a woman?
Why do I need this?
Well, that's because I was born with a condition that caused me to develop male sex characteristics.
So let me just tell you something, buddy. You were born with a penis. It's not a condition. It's not a condition. Now they're calling biology a condition. You were born with a penis because you're a man. Men are born with penises. Women are born with vaginas. It's an actual real thing. You were not assigned anything at birth. You were observed and made and told you were a dude. So the second part is this person is a complete hypocrite. Then they go on to talk about genitals don't define right? Here's how insane these people are. Then he goes on to say, genitals don't define who I am, yet I'm going to go get the surgery to change my genitals. Well, make up your mind, buddy. Is it that you were born a woman, even though you have a penis? Or is it that you were born with a condition and somehow you got a penis and then somehow you're going to get a vagina, but you're not, but genitals don't make you who you are? Oh my God, you guys. This is just, the irony. Genitals don't make what you are, but I'm going to go get a vagina put on because I'm completely insane. And if I say I'm a woman, I'm a woman. Is that very masculine? That is so man. Let me tell you something. As a biological female, that is so man to say, if I say I'm a woman, I'm a woman. No woman would say that. Also, I would never say, if I say I'm a man, I'm a man. It's because I'm not. So it's fucking stupid, you guys. At this point, what are we going to do? I need your help. I actually need your help. I can't handle it. Oh, hey, Julian, buddy. How you doing, friend? We transition to save our lives, and this people treat us as food buffet. You pick one. If you don't like the other, you can switch. There you go. It's disrespectful and a mockery. And that's a trans man telling you that. So thank you, Julian. I do appreciate you. I interviewed him, so he's a good guy. We'll bring him up. So yes, ma'am. It's literally, it's ma'am. And then people don't think we can laugh at that. I'm laughing at it's ma'am. Sit down, dude. Don't you ever talk to women like that. Well, was he talking to a dude? I can't remember. It's so stupid, you guys. You can literally see, the maleness in some of these people. That's just, they can't hide it. They can't. If I say I'm a woman, I'm a woman. Nope. Sorry, dude. Pushing back on you. You're a bio man who wants to be a woman and get your wiener cut off, and you want to put a kitty cat on, and it's all good. Just go do your thing and stop putting it on TikTok. We don't really care. Stop using banana splits to show how you're going to get the surgery. Stop indoctrinating children and stop saying that you're a 13-year-old little kid when you're a 50-year-old man and swimming in a swimming pool. Nobody cares about your transition. Do you know that? Nobody cares until you start messing with kids and you start saying you're a woman when you're not, and you start messing around with women's rights, and you start putting yourself in spaces that you do not belong. Seriously, you better hear me out there, people, because you're destroying everything we built, and I won't be a part of that, okay? Ever. I don't need to destroy other people's rights to have my own rights. That's not how it works. I've coexisted in this world for 30 years. I prove all of you wrong. All of you. You can literally coexist as a transsexual if you have respect for the rest of the world. We are the ones who are coming into your space. You're not coming into our space. We are literally infiltrating your space. So guess what happens when you're the outlier? You've got to make people want to have you sit at the table. People want to have me sit at the table, not because I'm a bootlicker, not because I'm a whatever the hell else you're calling me, because I care to sit at the table. I want to sit at the table. And there's a way you sit at the table. It's called respect, understanding, honesty, discussion, dialogue, and not lying to people. If you heard me out there, transgender community, you would have so much more. You would be so much more accepted in the world, as I am. But no, you got to push all your fetish, all your nonsense that has nothing to do with being trans. Zero. Zip. Nothing. And I will continue to call all you fake players out. I will continue to tell you that you cannot trample over women's rights. I will continue to tell you that you're a biological male, you're a biological female who needs to live this way in order to survive. Totally cool. People are cool with it. But stop lying. You're not a man and you're not a woman. You're something else, which doesn't make you bad or good or any of the above. It just makes you. Deal with it. Find a way to deal with it, but stop messing with other people's spaces because you're so weak and disconnected with who you are that you can't even stand your own self, let alone to be put in an environment around a bunch of other people. So with that, friends, that was my little rant. I care about you all. I care to belong with you. I care to sit at the table with you. I care that you care about me and my disorder. It's not fun. I don't want to be this guy. I just don't, but I am. It's as if you're born with something that you don't want to be born with, but you either cry about it or you fix it. And I learned to fix it. I cried about it for a long time and then I fixed it. And now I got all these weirdos coming on and saying they're like me when they're nothing like me. I can't not speak out about it. Okay? So I just want you to know that. It's because I care. I care to be in this world. I care about my own self. On some level, it's survival. But I also care about you. And when I see things, I was taught that by my parents. When you see something, don't just pretend like you didn't see it. My dad is a badass. He taught me this attitude right here. It's the reason I am this way. Don't stand for stuff just because everyone else is doing it. My dad always said, you will be judged by the company you keep. My dad said that to me in the 70s because I had horrible friends who were dragging me down, teaching me bad behavior, teaching me how to steal, teaching me how to be a bad person. My parents were like, no, those are not the kids you're going to hang out with. No. You are judged by the company you keep. Don't forget that. It is very important. Very important. And with that, I love you all so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Okay. And we're going to get somewhere. We are. I promise you, we're going to get somewhere. Just hang on, keep speaking out, keep doing your thing. Supporting me means a lot to me. I will never not tell you that. And, watch for a new interview coming up very soon, and I'll be doing a new reaction. Thanks for all the support with the channel. It means the world to me, and I'll keep exposing the weirdos. Just so you know. Okay, love you guys. Talk to you later.